Well, hello, and today we're going to be talking rods, and as you know, I'm with Carp Spirit now, and I would love to be able to turn around and tell you how absolutely fantastic the Carp Spirit rods are. They are, of course, but you know what? I can't do that myself. Why? Well, I haven't really used them yet. Let's be honest about it. I've just moved to the company. It'd be very easy for me to turn around and go, this is absolutely brilliant. But without using it, how on earth do I know? So for my credibility and also your sanity, what we're going to do today is a rod review with a bit of a difference. I'm going to look through the whole of the range, have a cast around with a few, flex a bit of carbon, chuck them around a bit, and then find out which ones I think suits my fishing. And then a bit later on in the year, I'm going to come back and give you a real review when I've used them for a while. They are, look at this, a rod stand by the side of a carp leg. How funky does that look? But we bought quite a few rods from the range just for me to have a little flick around and see what they're like. There's two names that you will see. One is Magnum, the other one is Blax. Blax is the budget end of the range, and believe me, they are exceptionally good value for money. They're rods that come in at under 100 quid, and there are plenty of them. Magnum, this is the upper end of the range, and there are three different types plus a very special one at the end. X1, X3, X5, and then this one, XLR. Now, they're all made, as you would expect, really, really well. My first impression is they just look superb. The wrap on them is lovely. The finish on them is lovely. They've got the usual really nice reel seats. They've got the funky shrink wrap handles. And then with the XLR, well, that's just a masterpiece, a work of art. But the big question is now, what do you do with a rod? Whenever you walk into any shop, you'll see an array of rods and you think, wow, which one do I get? The first thing you've got to do is think about your fishing. Think about your fishing now, today, what do you normally do? And think about the fishing that you're going to be doing over the next season or two. Now, if you're fishing a small 2-acre water, and all you're doing is flicking out 50, 60 yards with the odd PVA bag and sprinkling boilies over the top of it, you don't need a 13-foot 3.75 super fast test curve rod that can cast to the horizon. Complete and utter waste of time, doesn't work for you. The best thing to do is get something that suits you. However, if you do want to cast a long way, then maybe a 13-foot, maybe 3.5 pound, maybe even bigger, that will work. But find a rod, one that fits your style of fishing, and two, fits you. And that's a really important thing, fits you. Oh, and here we are, we're off. Oh, it's up and it's down again. Oh, yes, we're in. I'm just having an absolute belter on the left-hander. I'm up at Barston, as you can see. This is peg 124. It's a very well-known peg, and we're having a bit of fun and games today, just to put some of the rods through the paces and catch one or two fish as well. And I've got to say, these little 3-piece 12-foot Blax rods so far have performed really well. I'm chucking small mesh bags and 2.5 ounce leads, about 60, 70 yards, just really nice, steady, easy fishing. Just chucking them out there, getting bites, and actually they're nice to play fish on as well. They're not too stiff for little fish like this, and I think these sort of rods are brilliant for small commercial waters. You know, if you're on a budget, oh, that is an absolute banging scaly fish. It looks like it might just scrape double, but they've got some beautiful carp in here at the moment. Look at that. What a great day out this is proving. This is about fish number 6, I think. So I think it's fair to say that we've put these rods through their paces a little bit. Oh, come out of that reed, look at that. Bang, in it goes, and you can see the red hit and run hanging out of its mouth as well. And these rods, they've performed really well today. Great fun, dead easy to cast out, lovely to pay fish on. Get the thumbs up from me for sure. So throughout the Magnum range, there's a number of consistent features. For example, the rods are semi-fast in action. They've got anti-frap rings on them. There's nano matrix carbon, anti-scratch finish, and also this fantastic carbon clone reel seat. The X1s are retailing for less than 100 quid. There's 13 foot 3.5 and 3 pound test curve, 12 foot comes in 3 pound and 2.75 test curve, and there's also a brilliant 10 footer, which is the 3 pound test curve rod. Right, just for a bit of a giggle now, there's an island in front of me. I don't know how far out it is, but it's quite a long way, and I'm going to see if I can put a lead, as if I'm fishing right in the margins over there, but this is only a 2.5 ounce lead. That I reckon is 120, 130 maybe. So let's just have a little look and see if I can get this over there. That'll do. Going up a little bit, you've got the X3s. They range between 139 and 179 quid. And you've got a 13 foot 3.5 pound, a 12 foot 3 and 3.5 pound, and also a brilliant 10 foot 3 pound rod too. Right, change your rods now, and this is the Magnum X5. It's the 12 foot 3.5 pound, which is basically the X5 version of the X3 that we've just chucked out. Slightly different wrap on it, slightly better carbon. This is 40 ton, the other one's 36 ton. What that means, actually I haven't got too much of a clue, but there's 4 tons more in this one than the other, presumably a bit more beef behind it. So, I know from the last casts exactly what that other rod can do. Is this one going to be better? Worse? The same? Or what's the score with it? So, same casting position. Blimey, that's the first ever time I've chucked that one, and that is... And then you've got the X5s, which are the top of the range rods. 13 foot 3.5 pound or 12 foot 3.5 pound, as well as a 3 pound test curve in 12. These retail between 200 and 220 quid. With the storm on the horizon, I had just enough time to wrap the rods up and find out that I'd been casting in excess of 130 yards. That's with both the Magnum X3 and the X5. And don't forget, this was all with a 2.5 ounce lead. Time for a brew.